Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So I'm going to be teaching you how to create a Google Doc. I want to make a prelude to this that the only time we're actually going to be using Google Docs to quote-unquote turn in items is just for two different types of rough drafts. That's going to be the rough draft of your narrative and the rough draft of your research paper. And the reason for that is I find this works really well for peer reviews, and a lot of people already have Google Docs. It's just something that I feel has worked really well over time. So we're just going to continue doing that for this semester. So again, when I say turn in, that just means that your assignment will be turned into the folder, and I'll consider it done.
Outline template.
For this particular how-to, you're going to find it under Pages. So say you can't remember where it is. If you click under Pages, you're going to see, and I'm actually going to show you, I haven't finished all these yet, as you can tell, a different list on how to create a Google Doc, where's the source summary. We're going to have different things like MLA, options. So anyway,
and you can do this in
these are going to be where you can find this information. So you found it, obviously, you were here, so that's a good start. So I try and give you as many good written assignment directions here, but I feel like walking you through and talking through will probably be a little easier too. So in starting, right here it says go to this link. This particular link is just for an example right now. Your assignment might actually look very similar. This might actually look just like your class. So if it looks a little different, don't panic. But pretty much everything else is going to look almost exactly the same. When you first get here, if for some reason you do happen to have a Google account and you're not logged in, you're going to look like this. Say you don't have a Google account, it's still going to look like this, and that's okay. So the first part you'll see up in the corner, it'll say drive with a little triangle, and then the words maybe like a narrative rough draft, or the research paper rough draft.
So we've got one we're going to work with.
That's where you're going to be creating your document. So when you come here, all you see, sometimes you might actually see a list in this area of last names. Like, yeah, I see it written with the other people's assignments, and that's okay. Or you might see nothing. It kind of depends on if you were the first one to put in something for this folder. So you're going to see there's not much going on right now, but you might notice how it keeps saying sign in. That means you're not signed in. So what I'm going to need you to do is sign in. If for some reason you already have a Google account and you've logged into your Google Drive multiple times, you might see up in the top your name, your email, and that you're signed out. You're literally just quickly and easily sign in. If you don't see your name in here, but you do have a Google account, you can say underneath where it says use another account. If you don't have a Google account, you can actually click that again, the line I just hit, and create an account. So if you do not have a Google account, I'm going to show you that real quick, just so you can visualize it again. So if you don't have a Google account, again, you can sign in.
So you've done a little bit of research just out of curiosity. So one of the things is, obviously, we have to address,
use another account. So if you don't have a Google account, just use another account.
Your first main point might be
so we're going to assume that I don't have a Google account, or that my name doesn't pop up there. If I wanted, I could see how my name underneath pops up automatically. It says that this computer's recognized me. I do have an account, and I can click on it. Obviously, if you forgot your email, if you have a Google account, you want to use it again, you can just walk through all those steps. Otherwise, if you do not have a Google account, don't panic. It's just as easy as having a Google account.
There are some people
who
actually
choose super
to be
easy.
Homeless.
So for this, you're going to say for myself. When you click create an account, it's going to say for myself.
Anyway, so that's going to be something we might address
and
here in
our
first
put in all of your information,
do that. We're just
a password you want to use, and hit next.
Many
Many times, what's going to happen is
what is homelessness?
You can use
what is the problem? Or
your current Gmail account if you want. If you for some reason remembered you had one, or you can actually use,
and this is a big question,
a different email
for
address.
This,
it doesn't have to be Gmail. We might have, really nice about this. You don't even need to have an account.
So like
you
example
can just,
number one might be
sign in.
What causes homelessness?
So again, just click through down below. You're going to see where it says next. Click on through, and it's just going to guide you really easy. I believe it can send you a text through your
maybe
phone
an example or
to validate your account. Super easy. For me, I would like to just use the account that I already have.
Homelessness is gonna.
So give me a second when my computer goes
through.
So
you see it as
the process.
As I process through, I might go,
what's nice is
I like those two.
It lets me just
but I like
clock
this
in if I can remember
Okay, so
my
what
password.
causes homelessness?
I'm always clocked in.
And then here you would say
I never log out. Except for when I have to show you all how to do this.
Of homelessness.
So just give me a few minutes.
You might even have more subtopics as let's see here, maybe drugs and alcohol.
Cool.
Might be an issue.
All right, so what's really nice about once you hit that click, it doesn't send you anywhere wild and weird. It just brings you right back to that folder. Thank you. Because otherwise it gets really confusing and you have to get, click a bunch of places to get somewhere.
Can you tell this
you don't have to worry about it with this. It makes it really easy. Now, you're going to see that the front of this has changed.
Well,
something looks different.
Oh,
look on the left-hand side. You have a lot of different options now.
So we have maybe drugs and alcohol.
You're going to see also below the search in the drive, you'll see where all this information is.
So you see how you start to get
there's a lot of
subtopics. Each one of these
I have a lot of
folders,
so this is what mine will look like.
To it. So right now,
we're also the creator. Might look a little different for you. You might not have all of this, so just keep that in mind. And then up in the corner, in the right-hand corner, you're going to see your information.
What is homelessness? Why do we care? Why do we want to?
So we are going to talk about the left-hand side later. This is where we're going to do a bunch of other stuff. For now, we want to look on the left-hand side where it says drive with a little triangle, and then below it says new, and then you can ignore the bottom ones for now. Because what we're going to do, obviously, is if you click the plus new button, you're going to see a pull-down menu. And the pull-down menu is going to have a couple options. The only thing I want you to do is create a Google Doc. Do not create a folder.
In health, we have trash communities and parks.
Don't really upload anything. I just want to keep it super simple. So we're just going to do a Google Doc. Say you're more comfortable working on Word or another program somewhere else. That's okay. You can actually copy and paste it into the Google Doc.
Not just on the
but let's not upload or anything like that. It gets way too complicated, and then it looks like a mess. And
so again, these could all be their own separate paragraphs and their own separate things.
We're just going to go to Google Docs only, nothing else.
Here.
Click on that.
Like, see how
and
easy
it's going to give you a window that's going to pop up. It says create
so now we see
a shared folder.
Alcohol, mental illness,
so that's what you want to do. So you want to click where it says create and share.
Are what causes it. So maybe we can think of some programs. Right? So maybe some programs to help out.
You now are the beginning
obviously we know that
of creating a Google Doc.
The issues might be
up in the corner. So now you see this blank slate. You see it almost looks like Word, which is awesome and super easy because that's what we're used to. You're going to see up in the left-hand corner where it says Untitled Document. Keep in mind you might have to wait just a minute for your document to load and get its you-know-what together before you do this, because it gets weird when you go to type.
Maybe some programs.
So,
mental issues,
up in the right-hand corner where it says Untitled Document, I want you to click it.
So what you could do is,
and when you click it, it's going to highlight the word Untitled Document. Okay, super easy. Once you do that, I want you to make sure that you put in a very specific way in which I want you to label your papers. And this is how it's going to be throughout the semester. It is always your last name.
So one thing you might find is that,
that's shift dash. Okay, hit the shift button and the dash number, and that's considered an underscore. Then I want your first initial, and then another shift dash, which is an underscore. So last name underscore, first initial underscore, and then this particular paper is going to be the narrative.
So how can you develop or fund these programs might be a question.
Perfect, done. So don't hit enter, don't do anything. Just take your mouse and then click it on the
maybe here,
the actual
maybe
document,
local government,
and then it'll save for you. What is absolutely beautiful about Google Docs is it gives you all the information of where it was saved,
not necessarily the case
and all that information. So it's really cool. Say you wrote something like,
maybe local government isn't helping.
Okay.
Is helping.
And you wrote a whole bunch of stuff, and then you deleted it.
Is that gonna work?
And then you're like, shoot, what was that thing that I wrote that I really liked, but I deleted it? You don't have to worry, because if you go back to where you last edited your work, it's going to give you your old documents. It's going to show you the history.
I don't know. So you can kind of see
so cool.
Anyway,
so it shows you the current version, and it shows you some of the original
things against the wall. And
what's nice about this is it actually
in one of these you remembered
saves your document. So I have an old version of like a calendar I was trying to do, and I was deleting a bunch of stuff, and I thought, oh shoot, I can't remember what those things were, and I really need them. So I went back it was months ago, and it even gave me a little arrow pointing down right here next to the date on the right-hand side, where I clicked it, and it showed me every single edit. It was fantastic. I was able to go through and click on it, so when I click on whatever it is, that version that I want, it's going to show me what my edits were. So it'll be highlighted green to show you that it has been most recently edited by that. If it were older,
because I remember I had some reasons for it, but I can't remember all of them. These were just some things. So what you could do is you can copy and paste the entire link.
It's really funny as my cat is actually named
You could
Andy,
do...
so.
Let's see, where is that?
Human names for animals corrects me.
You could do the entire...
So here it shows you it was saved to the drive. It was edited seconds ago. I'm going to wait a minute just to show you.
Sociology, so maybe that'll help you.
Go back.
Or you could just
So usually within the time, since I've been doing this within the minute, it's not going to show you the edits. But if you wait a couple of minutes, it'll actually pop up. And then this would have... It would show you the changes. Anyway, the reason why I show you this, and I walk through this very detailed, is so that you really understand Google Docs, so that you feel comfortable using it. And so, say again, there was a part that you were writing in your narrative that you really liked, and for some reason you deleted it, but you couldn't remember what you wrote. You can go back to the last edits that you did and retrieve it. So what I've done before is when I went back to my edits,
you probably have to log in.
See that little arrow? When I click on that,
find my institutions, you might have to log in.
Look what it does. See how it shows me this one last edit on the 13th show at 11:13 a.m. It shows me my first one versus my most recent.
So anyway, this is what you could do. Say there was another thing where you're like, oh, there was programs.
This is why I love Google Docs. It really keeps track.
Chico.
It really keeps track of the things that you do. This could be maybe good, maybe bad. It depends on your outlook on
maybe
being
you
tracked.
Had the link for
me,
right?
I do appreciate it as a writer.
Anyway, so
this is what we're looking at here. Say you want to go back, and all you want to do is just remember this thing. You can copy it, Control C, so once you highlight it, if you Control C on
say
your
maybe you don't
mouse,
like having
you can actually go back
this as
to
your
it
second
and
point. Maybe you want it as your
copy
third
and
point,
paste,
or vice versa.
whatever you
Maybe
want.
you want to move things around.
Control V,
highlight it, copy and paste it, and then move it back and forth.
Sets it down. Unfortunately, when you do that, it keeps the color green.
Google Docs, you can kind of push things around.
So you just have to
and remember,
highlight it,
go back
and then change
to when
the text
it was
color
last
to
edited.
Sorry,
edited.
These are shortcuts.
And you can
if
go
I'm
and
going
check.
too fast, I apologize. That's why it's being recorded, so that you can go back and see what I did.
One of your old.
Okay. All right. So this shows you my most recent.
Like, oh shoot!
If I click
I don't
this
like
again,
this order, like that order.
Look at
so
all
instead of trying to remember the order, you can just click back to where restore to some of the old things that you're at. So anyway,
perfect.
That
so
is one
if for
reason
some
why I really love
reason you don't
Google
want to do the
Docs,
copy and paste, you could just hit
use
restore this version,
and
it's going to go
always
all the way
available
back
for,
to
like
this particular
me or a
version.
peer.
I
You
personally don't like doing that because it worries me that I'm going to delete
so
something
we can
else.
Go through and
So
help you
I
if
usually
we
just
need
do a
to.
copy and paste.
I usually
but you do what you want.
You
can fart around with it and figure out what works best for you. Totally up to you.
Since they're doing it
anyway.
too, they might have
when it comes to the rough draft narrative, I'll talk to you a little bit about how I want it written.
I just do what I know
when it comes to
me, and based on what I'm showing you, this is all the ways
so the rough
in which
drafts
I've done it that has
on
worked
any of
really well
these,
for
they
me.
can be a
But
little
maybe you
bit
have a
rough.
peer or
they
someone
aren't going to
who
look
you kind of
perfect,
trust, or
but
maybe
they're
you've
definitely
seen
going to
their
have a
discussions
substantial
online,
amount of
I think this
information so
person
that when your peers come
understands
through
what I'm trying to do, maybe they can help me. So you can reach
they go
out
through
to your peers first.
peer review.
That's usually my suggestion, because they'll probably have a better answer than I will. Because I'll probably just say,
long story short,
well, did you
that is how you create.
Because I've already given as much as I can. I don't know if there's a way that I can help that will give you a better
Google Doc.
I might.
You can also go up here and rename it if you wanted. Say you're like, oh shoot,
always say,
underscores. I
always
mean, obviously you can still
because
edit.
man, I tell you,
but I am very particular about naming it. The reason for that is
it's awesome.
Understanding that when somebody gives you directions,
and it's
you
always
want
good to have
follow through with those exact directions. This applies to all things, whether you're trying to set up a computer.
I also wrote through here different,
whether you are following
instructions
but I wrote it out, so the reason why I give you these very specific things is for a very specific reason. It also, for me, helps me when I'm going through and grading. So I do need you to follow the ways in which we do this in class.
This is just the way that
some of your other teachers might be a little bit different on how they do it, but for this particular class, again, I need your last
what's
name,
going to happen is I probably will be asking for an outline so that I can
of the
see
particular
where you're
draft
going.
that you're writing.
As
you move forward, you're going to see not just the narrative draft, the research,
that
it's the research rough draft.
At least
it's going to be labeled the same, except it'll say research rough draft.
It also gives you something to start
you're going to see as we scroll down here, these are how I would like you to
name
all
over the place
all of the documents.
Out,
I just showed you how we did the rough draft. We're going to have the narrative, the source summary 1, 2, research rough draft, and the research paper. And there's a reason why I do this. When it comes to source summaries especially, I need to know whether it's the first one or the second one. A lot of times I will tell when I'm reading the paper, but when I see it, if I don't see that it's changed on here, my assumption is that it's still the first one, and you won't get credit for it. And I won't grade it. I don't have time to go through and be like, I just graded this. I need to grade the second one. So it's very, very important that you double check every time you go to turn in an assignment that you label it correctly. Same thing happens with research paper or the rough draft. I have a lot of students who do this all the time. They leave this rough draft on there. My assumption is you never changed your rough draft. You didn't do any edits on it at all. In fact, you didn't even edit the title of it. And because of that, to me, it tells me you actually did not do substantial edits on your paper. And for me, that kind of wastes my time. So it's very important that you show me that you know that this is a new piece of, this is a new document, this is a new thing. And you can always redo, the rough draft. Say this ends up being your after your rough draft and you get all your peer reviews and you're still using the Google Doc, you can absolutely use this Google Doc to make it your final, but you want to make sure that you label it correctly when you go to turn it in for the final assignment. Okay, so just again, please make sure that you're paying attention to details. I know it's busy and crazy and we all have a lot of things to do, but these little things do matter in the end. Okay? All right, so if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Hopefully you've been watching all of my videos as I go through so that these don't seem so far out for you. You've been understanding what our narrative is. You'll know more about source summaries if we haven't already gotten to that yet, which I don't think we have. So anyway, please email me. You know my email. You can go through in your Canvas to the inbox, click on that and send me a message. So anyway, that is it for us. Thank you very much.